So this week's Parshas is Parshas Balak. And there's a few ideas that we could go into. There's the back and forth with Bilam and Balak. What did they mean? Or what did he say to him? What did he say back? And that's one idea. We'll go into that. There's also the idea of Hamapil. Let's see the pasuk first. The pasuk when Bilam speaks to Balak, so he tells him, let's look up the pasuk inside. The pasuk is Perek Chav Gimel, pasuk Chav Dalet. Chav Gimel, Chav Dalet. Page 868. So one of the prophecies that Bilam said is the second line here, Hein am kilavi yakum. It says that the nation gets up kilavi, like a kilavi. What's a lavi? So we say a lavi is like a little lion, a lion cub.
Isn't Aryeh a lion?
Aryeh is a big lion, and kilavi is a little lion cub. So, but it has the same idea, like a lion, like a young lion, a big lion. So what does the pasuk say? That when the Jews get up, they are a nation, like a lion that gets up. Uchari, v'chari is nasa, and they raise themselves up like a lion. And it does la yishkav, and it does not lie down ad yoichal teref, until they eat teref, their prey, which we have to understand what that means. V'dam chalalim yishteh, and it drinks the blood of the corpses that it will be able to slay. Whoever they take care of, they drink the blood. What does that mean, drink the blood? It doesn't mean literally drink the blood.
This is probably where the blood label comes from.
Yeah. So yeah, literally it sounds like that, but it's all metaphorically. You have to understand what it means. So right away, let's see Rashi to explain what does it mean they get up like a lion. What does that mean, you get up like a lion? How does a lion get up? So Rashi says 7 lines down on the first column. Heinam kalavi yakum kisheheim oimdim mishnasan. See that, Rashi? Here, am kalavi yakum. Right? Here, you see that where it is? Here, look at Rashi right here.
All right.
Am kalavi yakum kisheheim oimdim. When they stand up, mishnasan, from their sheina. What's sheina? Sleep. When they get up from their sleep. Shachris, in the morning. Hey, mizgabrim, they are midgaber. They are, what's the word mizgaber? They are
raised up, standing up, no?
Gibor. They are a gibor.
They're speaking.
What's a gibor? That's
strong.
daber.
Strong.
Yes, right. They are strong. Kilavi, like a lion. Like a lavi, like a young lion. And then Rashi says, and also kari, like an older lion. Lachatof es hamitzvos. When we get up, they get up like a lion to grab the mitzvahs. And before you know it, they are lilbosh tzitalis, they put on their tzitzis, likroya shema, they read shema, ulaniach tefillin, and they put on their tefillin. Right away, they are devouring mitzvahs. Right, it's not even 8 o'clock, and we already have these mitzvahs of davening, and we have shema, and talis, and tefillin. That's Rashi. Oh, good. That's Rashi for you. Now, they do speak out. It is something to think about. The order, why Rashi puts it in that order. Rashi says that they wake up and it says they grab the mitzvahs. They put on their talis, they say Shema, and they put on tefillin. Rashi he should have switched the order. He should have said they put on their talis, and then they put on their tefillin, and then they say Shema. Something to think about.
Maybe it means that the Shema from the Alamita is still on their mind.
Yeah, but when it says they're putting on talis, why are they putting on their talis first?
Well, so, for those who sleep with their talikatan.
Yeah, but he said Lilbosh talis. They're wearing it, they're putting it on now.
Okay. I don't have an answer for that.
Again.
But I mean, we learn. I mean, it says in yeshiva that that's how the boys wake up in the morning. They're supposed to wake up ready, like and roaring like a lion. That's
Right, for sure. That's the.
This is the word-
says Yiskaber Kari. It says you should arise like a lion. So it says there every morning you should wake up like a lion to do the service of Hashem. That is true. But here we're learning out in a different idea what the lions waking up. It's a different type of gevura. It's not only waking up, but waking up and grabbing the mitzvos. Right? It comes out that like a lion wakes up, it's so too we wake up and we get right to work. We grab the mitzvos. That's the idea that he's saying here. Yeah, we grab the mitzvahs. Right in the morning, we're already grabbing 3 mitzvahs right off the bat. So that's the idea here. But you're right. The Mishnah Berurah does say, the Shulchan Aruch does say, is gaber kari. You should wake up like a lion. So, if you ever have to be the vecker, you know what a vecker is? You ever with a vecker? I don't have to write this down, but in camp there's a vecker. He's a waker. He wakes everyone up. So Yizkaber Kari, that's what they say. You should get up like a lion, like Irving's saying. The Shulchan Aruch says you should wake up like a lion, which means when you have that, Yetzer Hara is saying turn over for 3 more minutes, so you get up like a lion. Get up like a lion. Now, on the other hand, there is an idea you should rest in bed for 2 minutes.
2 minutes or 7 seconds?
It says, well, we could see exactly how long it is, but it says that it's not healthy to jump out of bed, right? Now, some people are very machmer, very stringent about this halacha. But because it says it's not safe. The Shulchan Aruch writes 3 pages in. Mishnah Berurah says you shouldn't jump out of bed right when you wake up because it's not healthy. Might be maybe for the heart. So you should wait in bed for a minute or 2. But after that is gaber kari. That's what the Mishnah Berurah writes. Even though you might say gaber kari, the minute you open your eyes, jump out of bed. No, you pause for a minute, but then you got to jump out of bed like Ari. So you're right. Comes out that the word is gaber kari is used in 2 ways. One way is you got to jump out of bed, and you can't go back to sleep for an hour because you have to be like a lion. And the other hand, the Rashi is saying that there's an idea of you should be like an Ari to quickly grab lachatov. Rashi says grab like the prey. You quickly grab the prey, like a lion, and you get these 3 mitzvos. And you have to think about the reason. I once saw the question, something to think about. You could put it up for your table if you have any people that would like these types of questions. Something to think about why the order. But the truth is, you put on, could be, he's going to a late minyan. That way, then he'll have to. He puts on his tzitzis right when he wakes up. He has to say Shema before the minyan because he doesn't want to miss the time of Shema. Because let's say the time of Shema will be, let's say 9:20. I don't know. You have to check up the exact time. Somewhere 9:30. I don't know. But let's say it will be 9:20, and you're saying by the time they get to Shema, it will be 9:30. So you have to say Shema before. It depends, if you get to such a late minyan. So in that case, you would put on your talis first, then you'll say Shema, then you get to shul, then you put on your tefillin later. So that would be. But that's not the real answer. You have to think.
How much of the Shema do you have to say?
The basic din is to say the Shema and Baruch Shem. But we also say V'ahavta, the first paragraph with it. If you have time, you should really say, also, you should say all 3 parshas if you're able to. If you're able to, you should say all 3. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's what it means, they get up like a lion. So let's go back to the pasuk. So the pasuk continues. They get up like a lion,
like
a lion cub, and then they raise themselves like a lion. Lo yishkav. And they don't go to sleep until they eat their teref, until they eat the prey. So what is this coming to tell us? Is it coming to say that the Jews, whatever they grab, they don't eat until the night? They eat it. They don't go to sleep until they eat their prey. What's the pasuk coming to teach us? What's the chiddush here? So Rashi says Lo yishkav. You see Rashi there, lo yishkav? Look at Rashi for, again, at the 6 lines from the bottom of the first column. And Rashi says, lo yishkav. You see that?
Yeah.
See that Rashi? Yeah, Jonathan, you want to see? Look at the Rashi here. Lo yishkav, the first column down in the Rashi, 6 lines from the bottom. 7 lines from the bottom. Lo yishkav balayla. He does not go to sleep at night. Right? Ad, until, ad, down his bed, ad shu oichel, until he eats, umechabel, and he destroys, kol mazik abalatarfei. He does a little bit of eating and devouring the same way a lion eats and devours. Just a lion eats food. You know what a person does before he goes to sleep? He devours the mazikim. What's a mazik? What's a mazik? Have you ever heard of a mazik? Okay, you're not into this stuff.
A weapon?
A mazik could be a weapon literally, but it means a spirit or a demon. So there's mazikin who are flying around. And therefore, the Jew doesn't go to sleep before he gets rid of all the mazikim, all the demons and spirits. How does he get rid of it? He's ochel machabel. How does he destroy and devour all of the demons? So Rashi says, Ketzad. How? He reads the Shema on his bed. He says the Shema, not just the Shema that he says by Maariv, that he prays with Shema. That's a mitzvah to say Shema every night. But there's another mitzvah to say Shema on your bed before you go to sleep. And when you say that Shema, it is like swords fighting away and killing all of the demons. That's the Shema. It's not just a Shema to do the mitzvah like we do by Maariv. It's a Shema to protect you from spirits. And mafkid rucha biyad makom, and then he gives up his spirit to Hashem, and he says, as we say in Adon Olam, biyado afkid ruchi be'esi shan ve'oira, which means biyado, in your hand. Afkid means like I entrust. A pikadon is a something I give to you to watch.
My soul.
My soul. Be'es ishan, when I go to sleep. Ve'a'ira, and then I will wake up. Ve'em ruchi giviyasi Hashem li'v'leira. So too here he says that the Jew, he says Shema, and then he gives the spirit to Hashem for the night, his soul to Hashem. Ba machanes. Rashi continues, and even if a camp of spirits come, v'gayis lehazikim, and they are making a whole army to damage him. Hashem shoimram. Hashem watches him. V'nilcham milchamoisam, and he fights the war. Umapilam chalalim, and God cuts them down to be a chalal, to be a corpse. Any of these mazikin. That's what it means. That's how Rashi says.
So when it says it will not lie down until it consumes her, this is referring to Shmalamita.
Yes.
And what is and drinks the blood of this lamb? What is that referring to?
So he's saying, let me see the pasuk. Yeah. So he's saying he doesn't go to sleep until Yoichal Teref, till he says Shema, which is how he destroys and eats up the Teref,
the evil forces.
The evil forces.
Right.
And on that, Chalalim, on that, he also, and then when he goes to sleep, Hashem is the one who fights off any of the mazikim who come and makes them into Chalalim. Chalalim is corpses, so it's a little bit of like a metaphor that Dam Chalalim Yishteh, so then he's able to, like Oichel means he eats, sort of, that he's going to destroy, devour. First, Yoichal Teref, he eats and devours any people, any spirits. The Dam Chalalim Yishta, and any of the people, any of the spirits who come during the night, the Dam Chalalim Yishta, is sort of like destroys them, because God will make them into Chalalim, God makes them into corpses.
So how come when we wake up, we have to do the negel wash because we understand that that's from also washing off the raw that we.
No, so now there's a ruach ra that comes on a person. There's a spirit that comes on a person. It's a different type of spirit.
Okay.
It's a ruach that comes on a person when he sleeps at night.
So nothing to do with.
Nothing to do with this spirit,
Okay,
right? This is a spirit that tries to attack him and destroy him.
Okay.
And the way that you are able to fight him off is simply by saying Shema.
So is there a metaphor that we understand from drinks the blood of the slain? Like we understand, like lie down and consumes the prey. We understood that.
So Rashi puts in.
Well, what's the drink
Rashi
of the blood of the
says.
slain?
Rashi says it's a double type of speaking.
it's saying the same
Yoichal for Yoichal Taraf, Rashi says he doesn't go to sleep until he destroys all the mazikim.
Okay, so it's another. It's a
Oichel.
reinforcement.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Rashi says he's oichel comes. It doesn't mean eating. Literally means
Right.
devour.
Right.
Any mazik, any spirit that comes to him. And Rashi says, how does he do that? By reading Shema, and then a spirit comes to attack him. Hashem watches him, and it says Hashem fights the war and makes them fall as corpses. Chalolim, which is what the pasuk says. Dam chalolim yishta. Then he can drink the blood of the corpses, and those corpses are slain by Hashem as he sleeps at night. So it's like getting Hashem on your side now.
Do they only come at nighttime?
At night is the main time, yeah.
Is that because if you're not saying Shema while you're sleeping, they can see when you're weak?
Well, Shema is a time of where the mazikim are flying around.
Okay.
Nighttime. I mean,
Nighttime.
it says
Nighttime.
nothing. People were not out at nighttime.
Right, that's why it says it's dangerous to go out at night certain times by yourself. Depends when, but okay.
I have two things.
Yeah.
If you can leave me a few minutes at the end. I have two things about the Parashah that
Oh yeah?
But not now. Do your stuff.
Okay. So this is what we're learning out from this Rashi. And so you see the whole idea of Shema. It's very important to always remember, and up to the point that it says in the Gemara that someone who says Shema at night, it's like he's holding Cherev Pipiyos Biyadam, right? I'll read you the Gemara. Do you know this pasuk? Does that pasuk sound familiar? Cherev Pipiyos Biyadam. We say it in the morning prayers every morning, right? Latzis nekama b'aglayim nefesh ba'alumim. So we say that he's holding a cherev. Cherev is a what? What's a cherev?
Seraph?
Cherev.
Terev?
I thought it was Seraph.
Right? Do you remember this word?
Is it Terev?
Cherev.
Terev.
What's a cherev? A sword. No?
Barzell. Isn't Barzell a sword?
Barzell is iron. What's a cherev?
Iron.
What's a cherev? You never heard of a cherev in Israel?
Never heard of it.
Cherev is a sword.
Sword.
So we say,
Is it
huh?
iron?
Yeah, you know what? Let's bring
Steel.
some Siddurim. You want to bring 3 Siddurim? We'll look up this pasuk because it's very important.
So where is the pasuk from? Where in the morning davening?
So I'll show you the Halalukas.
Oh,
In the
it's
Halalukas,
okay,
we
so
say this pasuk.
Okay.
And we learn out, we darshan it. Thank you. Here, I'll share with Irving. I know it already. I'll share with him. Yeah. So it says over here. See where that here is by Halukas. Right here. So it's on page 74. Raimimos Kael Bigroinam. It says they have the Romimos, the praises of God, in their throat. The Cherev, page 74. The Cherev Pipiyos Biyadam, the third line from the top. They have a Cherev, a sword, Pipiyos, which means a fi is a mouth. Now, Pipiyos is a double mouth. That means it has a double-edged sword, Biyadam. So therefore, the pasuk says again. So let's start from the second line from the top. Ya'alzu chasidim b'chavoid it says that the Hasidim, the pious men, will be Ya'alozu, they will be so happy and joyous, Bichavod, with Hashem. Yiranenu, they will sing al mishkavosam, on their mishkavosam. What's a mishkavosam? Their beds. So the Gemara learns out, what does that mean that they sing on their beds? And what does that mean that they have cherev pipiyos biyadam? That they have a sword in their hands. It's a strange pasuk here, right? You right? You with me? Here are the two questions.
Okay.
So the Gemara says that we learn out from this pasuk that anyone who says Shema before he goes to bed, it's like he's holding a double-edged sword, which will ward off any shadim or any forces of evil that come during the night. So the Shema is like the double-edged sword, and will protect one from any demons, and it will protect you from the Yetzer Hara. How do you know that? Because it says that they're on their beds. It says Yalzu Chasidim Mechavod Yiranenu Mishkavaisam. They're on the Mishkavaisam. They're on their beds. And then it says Roim Mais Kel Begroinam, that they say Roim Mais. They say praises Begroinam in their garon. What's a garon? A garon. You know what a garon is? It helps when you give the candies for your garon.
Your throat?
The throat. So they have the romamos. They have the praises of God in their throat. And they have a double-edged sword in their hands. How do they have that? The answer is because the pasuk is saying that when they the Roman Moskel, they say the praises. Which praises? Shema. When they say Shema, when they sing Yalzu Chasid Mechaved, they sing, and they sing about Hashem's kavod. They sing about Hashem's glory on their beds. So the singing about God's glory on their beds that says Yalzu Chasidim Bechavod is kavod of Hashem, is accepting the kingship of Hashem. That's Shema. And then the next pasuk says they have a double-edged sword in their hands. And therefore that's how we learn out that one should be careful to say Shema every night. That's the Gemara. Now we also say one more bracha, which the Rambam says is the bracha of Hamapil, right?
Also, no?
Right after we say Shema. So if you look, right, if you turn to the page, right, you know where you know where the Hamapil is, right after Marav at night. So it says here, it's interesting. It says the bracha called Hamapil in the middle of the page. Now this bracha with Shema, these are the two things that you have to say every night before you go to sleep. Because if you say this bracha, it's an amazing, amazing prayer. Because we ask for very big things. Yes, that paragraph. Right, write down the page and just that paragraph. Because if you think about what we ask for, it's very, very important to ask Hashem that we should fall asleep fast. Our eyelids should start to droop, and we should sleep in peace. You know, in the olden days, a person couldn't sleep in peace. They were scared of being woken up in the middle of the night. And we ask Hashem shetashkiveni l'shalom. We should sleep in peace. V'samideini l'shalom. We should wake up in peace, and we shouldn't be yeva'aluni. We shouldn't be confounded with ra'yonai, our thoughts, with different thoughts which will get us confounded and confused. V'chalomos ra'im, and have bad dreams. We shouldn't have any bad dreams. V'arurim ra'im, or bad thoughts. And our bed should be complete, and our eyes should light up, and we shouldn't sleep the sleep of death. Because Hashem is the one who lights up the eye. So this bracha is an amazing bracha which one should say every night. Now it's interesting that they say to first say that bracha, and then he says to say Shema. Now, how could you say Shema after you make the bracha? Isn't that a problem of making an interruption? Right? Which means if you say the Shema, maybe you should say the Shema first. So the answer that they say is that it's not a problem, because the whole idea of Shema is also to protect you from mazikin. So it's the same idea as the Hamapil, that we ask Hashem to protect us. So therefore it's not an interruption, because anytime you continue in what you were saying, like you ask for the salt after you wash, that's not a problem of interruption, because that's the same topic that you're talking about. An interruption is if you switch and talk about what did the Toronto Blue Jays do yesterday. That's an interruption. So therefore you're allowed to say Shema even afterwards. Even afterwards you're allowed to. So that's why they say to say Shema here. Now the truth is,
there's many different variations of Shema Lamita, I think.
yeah. Now there are different Siddurim that say you should say Shema first, because they say that maybe it's better to say Shema, it would be an interruption if you say it afterwards. And they actually say, because what's the reason why there's a different reason why maybe you should say Shema when you go to sleep. And that reason is that you should go to sleep thinking about Torah. As you fall asleep, you should think about Torah. So that's an idea, which I think the Gemara also says here, that that's why you should say it, but it has nothing to do with Hamapil, according to that. So according to that reason, that's why some people say Shema first. So there are two different views. And one thing is clear, the Mishnah Berurah says, it depends where you're holding, but if you think you're getting tired, you should make sure you say Hamapil before you get tired, right? If it's going to be, if you think you might fall asleep, you should say Hamapil right away, because you don't want to doze off in the middle of Hamapil.
But isn't it said before Shema?
So there's two different views.
Oh, okay.
But they bring down that they say Hamapil first, and it's not an interruption. The Gemara says another idea, that you should go to sleep with thoughts of Torah in your mind. There's an idea, Gemara says, from this pasuk. The pasuk states, it says, Imru bilvavchem ameshkavchem v'toimu sela. Let me show you the actual pasuk, which should be brought here. Here we go. So on page 294, it says, page 294, look in the middle of the page there, it says, towards the bottom, it says recite 3 times towards the middle of the page. So it says the following words. Rigzu v'al techato. You should always be scared. So literally, we say this means you should be scared before a person ever goes and does anything. You should always tremble and think of what Hashem wants you to do and have fear of God. Rigzu, should always be trembling. V'al techato, and then you won't come to sin. And then it says, Emu bilvavchem, you should speak to your heart, ameshkavchem, on your bed, v'daimusel, and then you go to and then you're quiet. So he says, Emu bilvavchem, so the Gemara learns out, what should you speak to your heart? What does it mean you should speak to your heart? So the Gemara learns out you should speak to your heart Torah. You should go to sleep with words of Torah on your mind. That's what the Gemara learns out from that pasuk. So according to that, it's a whole different reason why we say, here we go, here's the pasuk. Same pasuk here. So according to that, it's a whole different reason why we say Shema. Because Shema is words of Torah. So you should drift off with words of your Torah on your mind. So you should always have a good question to think about when you go to sleep. Because that's really, or you should think about Shema. Because that's really what one of the ideas of Shema is, according to the Gemara. Shema is not only to protect you, but also you should be thinking and learning as you go to sleep. So you should think about what you're saying. What are you saying Shema? What does that mean, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad? Why do you have to say Hashem Elokeinu? Hashem is our God. And Hashem Echad, why do we repeat again Hashem Echad? We should say Hashem Elokeinu Vehu Echad. Or why do you have to repeat it? Maybe it's coming, the Medrash says it's coming to say that Hashem is our God, and Hashem will be one in the end of days. You go through all the ideas. Why does it say with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your money? Once it says with all your heart and soul, of course you have to give up your money. You go through that, think about it as you fall asleep, or think about other pieces of Torah. It's very good. That's what the Gemara is learning out. That you should drift off with words of Torah going through your mind. That's the other reason why we say Shema. Two reasons why we say Shema right before we go to sleep. Okay, Irving, yeah. What do you think?
My questions?
Uh-huh.
Okay. One is just an observation. This seems to be, to me, one of the few, if not only, Parshiot where it has a theme and it sticks throughout the same content throughout the whole Parsha. Many other Parshas, start with something and it'll bring in so many different things inside the Parsha, whether halachot or mitzvot or whatever. This one, it talks about Balak and it's consistent all the way through. That I noticed in the reading. It doesn't. I don't know any other Parsha, not that I know the Parsha so well, but I don't know any other one. Lech Lecha, it'll talk about this, but then 4 paragraphs later, there's so many other tangents that come into each part. This one, almost every pasuk is relating to Balak and the whole thing. And my other question is, that was an observation. So this is a question. It says that Bilam got the okay from Hashem to go. And he understands. He's only going to say what Hashem wants him to say. He understands that. But then the whole controversy with the donkey, and why does Hashem then say that you're going not with my blessing when he told him to go, and then at the end result he says go and with my blessing? The whole thing with the donkey is a little bit superfluous because Hashem has already told him to go, and yet in the conversation between Hashem's angel and Bilam, he says, I did say you can go, and then at the end he says, you can go. I don't understand.
So why did he have a conversation and tell him not to go, and then tell him to go?
Yeah, because at first he did say you can go. When the second shlichim came from Balak, he said, yes, I can go with you. He gets the okay from Hashem to go with the second group. And then on the way he has this confrontation with the donkey and the Malach of Hashem. And then at the end of it he says, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was you, Hashem. And then Hashem says, you can continue going. I don't get it.
The answer is that there is a Rashi in the Chumash, and the Rashi says, we learn out from here a big principle. It's called that Rashi asked the question you're asking. Rashi says, if Hashem already told him, first Hashem told him to go, and then he tells him not to go, right? If you look at the pasuk,
the first group he says no. Right.
First group he says don't go, and then Hashem says no, you could go with them.
Right.
And then he sends the donkey, and then he tries to get him not to go, but why? And then he tells him go.
Right.
So on the end, Rashi says that we learn out of a big rule. The rule is called B'derech Sha'adam Reitzim Leilech Ma'lichanai. The way you want to go, that's how Hashem will lead you.
Okay.
So if you decide that you want to, let's say a young man coming out of high school, he could decide which way he wants to go. He could decide he wants to go to college and become a doctor, or he could decide that he wants to go learn Torah for a few years. It's up to him to choose the path. So Hashem will help you along. He'll help him become a doctor. If he wants to become a doctor, he'll help him become a lawyer. He'll help him get into law school. It's all up to the person which way he wants to go. So Bilam, Hashem told him, I don't think it's a good idea for you to go. It's not good. You should not go.
And he listened. He told Balak, whatever goal or something you put in front of me, I can't go unless Hashem says so.
Yeah, but there's
I understand there's a little bit of
little nuances that we learn out from each word. He said I can't go the first time when Hashem said don't go with them. So he told them, I can't. Hashem doesn't go imachem with you. With you. You are the low-ranking officers. If you'll send me maybe higher-ranking officers, then maybe I could go with them. So what's the next pasuk? Next pasuk says that Balak sent him bigger officers. Vayosef ha'id shloyach sarim rabim, many officers. V'nechbadim, nechbad, they were more mechubad, from kavod, they were more honorable. So then he said, okay, fine, will you come with us? So then he started asking Hashem, okay, well, can I go with them? So on that Hashem tells him again. What did Hashem say? Right? Let's see the next pasuk.
It says you can go, but only my word you can say.
So he said, let me ask Hashem at night. And Hashem told him, okay, that's what you want to do. Go with them. Because here, Rashi will say, Hashem just told him to go with them. And everything that I'll say, that's what you'll do. And then he starts, so then they went with them. And here again, Hashem sends a malach. He sends him a donkey. So on that, right, let me read you the Rashi here. And Rashi says that it was a malach of Rachamim. He sent him an angel of mercy. The angel of mercy is really Hashem was trying to stop him from going because he knew it was no good for him to go. But at the end of the day, he told that, the malach spoke to Bilam, and he opened the donkey spoke to the malach. He spoke to the angel, and the malach, the angel, said to Bilam, okay. Because Bilam says again, well, what should I do? I didn't know. If it's bad, I'm going to return. He said, if it's bad, I'll return. If it's bad, he wasn't sure yet. He still said if. He still had his doubts. So on that, the Malach said, okay, go with them. On that pasuk, on pasuk Lamed Hey, Rashi says, go with them. Right, page 862, second column. Rashi says, B'derech shadem reitzim leilech meilichen oisai. You see that, Rashi? 5 lines from the top. 5 lines from the top, second column. Lamed Hey. Rashi says very carefully here that you want to go with them? Okay, go. B'derech shadem reitzim leilech meilichen oisai. Hashem says, I'll help you out. You want to do that? No problem. You want to, whatever you want to put your efforts in, Hashem helps the person out. You see that different people, they get help and they're successful in what they do. It all depends where you put your efforts in. You can have one person, he wants to be successful in knowing the whole Torah and all the Rashis. So each week he learns one aliyah, he learns a few psukim, he learns all the words. After 5 years, 10 years, he knows the whole Torah. You have other people, they have different goals, different aspirations, so they want to, step up and get a higher degree. So then they'll put their works and efforts to get a better degree, to get a better job. So Hashem will help you get a better job because Hashem works with you. You have bechira, you have free will. So Bilam, he had free will. Hashem told him once, don't go with them. He used his evil inclination to say, it means I shouldn't go with you, but I could go with higher people. And then even after the angel comes with the donkey, he still says to the angel, if it's bad, then I'll return. If it's bad. He should have just said, okay, we're turning around. You see that he was pushing, he wanted to go further. So Hashem said, okay, go. I don't stop you. I help you. It says, if you want, Hashem helps you. He opens up for you whichever avenue you want to go. What does it say? Haba l'taher. If you want to come to be matahar, you want to come to be tahar, you want to be clean, pure, you want to do mitzvos, Hashem helps you. Haba l'tameh. If you want to come and become tameh, you want to do something not good, so then poschen lo, Hashem opens up for you. He helps you either way. Either He opens up the doors, you could do something wrong. He doesn't stop you because He works with you, right? Just like we find a lot of places. We find this with Moshe. Moshe went to ask, can I have the spies go into Eretz Yisrael, right? Remember the spies in Parshas Shlach. Yeah. So what was the story there? The story was they asked Moshe, could we go spy out the land? So Moshe said, what's the problem here? Why do you want to go spy it? Hashem already said it's a good land. Hashem told Moshe, you really don't need spies. If I tell you it's good, you go straight up. You don't even need to spy out. But Hashem said, if that's where you're holding, so go. But the Rashi says there that Hashem told Moshe, there's going to be a place where they're able to trip up because they're making a request which is not correct. They want to take spies, okay, but the spies might see something which is be able to explain it in two ways. And Rashi says the following words in the beginning of Parshas Shlach, Rashi says, Chayechem. God says that I swear that I'll give them a place where they can make a mistake in this whole idea of the spying. And what was the mistake? When they came there, they saw that they were burying the dead people. So they tripped up on that mistake that God gave them the free will there, that they interpreted it that maybe the land buries the people. So God said, I told them it's a good land. Why are you doubting me? You should really just go up straight. But you want to doubt me? You want to go up? I'm going to work with you. You want to go? Send spies. Okay, but you might see something there which despies my report for the bad. So you always have to work with, that's why if you choose the path to become Tar, to learn more Torah, to do more mitzvahs, you can't go wrong. Hashem will help you out. Balak, Hashem helps you out. B'derech shadam reitzin leilech. The rule is, b'derech, on the derech, the way, the road, shadam reitzim, that a man wants, leilech, to go, meilichen, I say. They move you along. That's Hashem, like on on the ferry, they move him along. That's how he goes. He's on that ferry. Whichever, you decide which road you're going to go on. Okay.